Good morning, thriving warriors. Here we are once again. Is this better? No, this is better. Okay, here we are once again, another day. Today is Monday, August 7th, 2023. You're there, I'm here. Here is where? Pahrump or Pahrumpertucky. Today it's 71 to 103. 32-degree temperature swing. Okay, cool. Anyway, here we are at Department of Career Services, where our goal is simple: to help you get from where you are to someplace better, from point A to point B, someday Isle to Success Landia. And how do we do it? We do it through through this podcast, but it's mainly through the stuff down below. Now, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you got to get onto YouTube. Maybe in the bottom right-hand corner, it says YouTube. Get onto YouTube, click on that, and then below the video, it has the title. Click on that, and then the description will pop up. And there's today about 4,500 characters, about 900 words, talking about different services, features we provide, including Baraka Church, Plan of God, our first book in the series. And once you become a believer, now you need to learn doctrine to help you have a better relationship with God, etc. Good morning, Jeannie. Glad to see you here. Hope all is well. Okay, so the real magic is down below. It's in the description down below. The real magic is not in what you see me doing. It's in the description down below. And I can promise you, if you spend an hour a day on the stuff down below, maybe 2 hours on the stuff down below, if you do that, you will be better. Plus an hour on Baraka Church. Go to their site, and a tremendous amount of videos and things there. So, and good morning, Jeff. Hope all is well with you. And yeah, Jeff, I apologize once again. Need to chat with you. Did Mike McGill ever show up? I have not heard from him, but I would like to hear from him. So hopefully we don't have the same things last time. Anyway, here we are. Let's get started. First things first, coffee. This is the Sam's Club beans that you have to grind. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Okay, that pen, paper, we have to write things down. He is still at Catholic Chariots, can't go anywhere till he sees his officer. Okay, all right. Well, we can, I guess, chat about that later. All right, down below. First things first, advice from an 80-year-old, always accept an outstretched hand. Right. Don't be Doc Holliday, who said in Tombstone, excuse me for not shaking hands. Pardon me, not. Okay. Next, because time is racing, our attitude of gratitude. This is one of the most important parts of the day to get you focused out, to get you focused on appreciating the things you have rather than all of the thorns in our sides. So write in your book, I'm so happy and grateful now that blank. What are you so happy and grateful for right now? That's the question. What is it you're so happy and grateful for right now? So write that, then ask yourself the question, what am I so happy and grateful for right now? Putting the emphasis on right now, as opposed to so happy and grateful for. What am I so happy and grateful for right now? And then focus on your brain, see the thoughts go through it, all the things that you're happy and grateful for. And then maybe write 1 or 2 down so that later you can review these. Okay, number 2. 3 simple things you want to accomplish today. And these could be as simple as making your bed. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. There we go. So what do we have down below in our description? Let's see, motivational video. Today's motivational video, good. Wake up and grind. Don't let the excuses get in the way of forward progress. Wake up, get at it. That's it. You want to get from point A to point B, you want to do be on your journey, wake up and grind. That's what you need to do. Just wake up and grind. Get to it every day. And I know, for example, this is something that Jeff does. He's waking up and grinding. Okay, all is well. Brandon's at work, 6:30 roughly today through Friday this week, and my daughter got hired at the same place. Wow, good. That's great, Jeannie. Okay. Super. Starts work at 6:30 to 3:30. Okay. Okay, next on our hit parade, Jordan Peterson, have a sense of humor. Sense of humor is extremely important to people. People like being around people who are entertaining, enjoyable, positive, upbeat, etc. People don't like being around people who are negative. Divine inspiration. Okay, Darren Hardy, communication. Ask good questions. Ask good questions. A lot of people say, well, you ask somebody the question, what's a bad question? And people say, the question that's not asked. That's not a bad question, because it gets people in the habit of thinking they need to ask questions. A famous hockey coach, might have been the guy who won the 1980 Olympics, said to his people, don't ask me questions because you're not in a place where you can ask me a good question yet. Just pay attention, just learn, just listen, be a student. Don't ask me questions because you don't have the ability to ask a good question yet. Just pay attention, watch what's going on. And I think that's more of it, because there's a lot of people who walk into a situation where they don't know and they want to take control of the situation by asking questions, and then the whole thing gets derailed. And then the person in front who's trying to do the instructions, oh, hold your questions till the end. That creates frustration on the part where really the person is not in the mindset of being a student, of being a learner. Okay, back to it. And what was our time? 8:47, a little bit more than a minute left. Okay, Seth Godin. Seth Godin is a short one. The low stakes argument. It's tempting and fun to argue about the logo, about the way the toilet paper's hung, about how to load the trunk of the car. These sorts of arguments work precisely because they don't matter at all. And they distract us from the incredibly difficult work of discussing the things that actually do matter, that can take action on, that we can take action on, that are easier to ignore. Right. So, yeah, the idea here is to focus on the things that matter, not to argue about the things that don't matter. But it's easy to argue about things that don't matter. Right. And that to me is like talking about the past. Prayer. Compassionate and loving God, you created a beautiful world for us to share. Give us the desire to live simply so that our lives show your generosity. You made us responsible for the earth, guide us so that those who come after us may enjoy your creation. Amen. Here's a question. What if Genesis, the creation story, is correct, but we are just reading it wrong? Why would we be reading it wrong? Well, when God revealed it to Moses, the discussion, was not on a level of cosmological significance. He wasn't talking to a cosmologist, number one. And number two, Moses didn't have the knowledge, even if God did want to talk as a be very precise. Okay, here's exactly how the universe was created and people, et cetera, et cetera. Even if God wanted to be very precise, Moses would not have been able to understand it or hear it. So it needed to be put into language that Moses could understand. And that was basically correct, but not precisely correct. What if that was the case? That Genesis is correct, the creation story is correct, we're just reading it wrong. We're not reading it properly. Okay, next. I get a lot of comments on that. 11:28 in. We are here to help you on your journey of life. And imagine this is a journey in a boat to a place far, far away. We have a general idea of where it is, but we're not quite sure. We're going to have to make many stops along the way to resupply, to get more information, etc. Our initial crew might not make it all of the way. We want to get there all of the way. So we need to build a boat that is big enough and strong enough to take us on that journey. And can we repair the boat when we go to different places? Yeah. When we resupply and restock, yeah, we can repair our boat. We can add things to it. We can make it more seaworthy. But just imagine your life is a journey across a body of water, like an ocean, a sea, whatever. We can't see where we're going. We're going to get the best advice we can, use our common sense and reason, and have the most enjoyable journey. That's what we're here to help you do, to help you learn the tools you need to be successful doing that. And there's 4 parts: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Those 4 things you need. If you are not physically fit, you will not be able to do it. You need to take care of fitness and health, what you eat and how you act and behave and what kind of condition you're in. Don't smoke, don't drink, get exercise, reduce your negative stress, reduce the cortisol that you have. Trip. Okay, fitness and health. Learning, always be learning, always be learning. The world is changing ever faster. We need to keep up with it. You need to always learn. We have tools to help you do that, including Coursera courses. Emotional. Number one way people get derailed is they cannot control their emotions. They let other people control their emotions. And so what we say is, if you can't control your emotions, don't worry. Somebody else will, and they'll probably take you out of the game. Everybody in jail and prison is there because they lost control of their emotions. They did things they weren't supposed to do. They didn't do things they were supposed to do. Somebody else was involved. And lastly, but most importantly, is the spiritual side. Belief that Jesus is the Messiah, and to do works to please God, not to get into heaven. Getting into heaven is by grace and grace alone. It is a gift that we have not and cannot earn. However, we should do things to please our God. And helping other people, meaning and purpose in your life, is a great way to please God. Sacrifice for others. Help other people get to heaven. And so along those lines, the last 2 morsels. Thank you, Jeannie. Yesterday was the only easy day. Act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Push yourself just a little bit more. Get a little bit more comfortable being uncomfortable. Embrace those things that suck. Just get used to it. And if you're still here, God is not through with you yet. God has a plan, but we want to do things. We want to help other people to please God, not to get to heaven. Can't get to heaven by doing works. Get to heaven by doing things that we get to heaven by grace and grace alone. However, as part of the family, as part of what Jesus asked in, I think, Matthew chapter 17, for us to be as one, something that I call kinship. I and other people call kinship. We are one. We are not separate. Okay, so Jeff, what's a good time to chat? What's a good time for me to call you today? Just send me a text. Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, everyone. Goodbye. Remember, get out there, make somebody else's life better today.